Alright boys, so today we're gonna do a video on how to find your perfect sensitivity. Now it's gonna seem a little bit complicated at the start here, but honestly if you just listen, maybe you have to rewatch it a little bit, you'll get it and you'll be chilling with it. So yeah, just gonna jump straight into it and we're just gonna hop right into the practice range. Alright, so real quick before we get into it, 85% of you aren't subbed, so if you like watching my content, you want to help me out, please hit the sub button below, and yeah, let's just go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do here is we're going to need to look up the average pro player EDPI, and I've got it right here, you can see. So the average is 280, and if you don't know what EDPI is, it is sensitivity multiplied by DPI, just so you can check everybody's sensitivity no matter what DPI they're using. They could use the most random DPI and you'll still know. And the next thing you're going to want to need here, you're going to need a notepad and you're going to need a calculator. So, you know, Windows, we got calculators, bang bang, here we go. Alright, so now that we've got the average pro player DPI, we're going to want to just type that into this calculator here. You'll see 280 divided by, I'm going to use 800 here. If you're using 400, just replace this number with 400, and if you're using whatever DPI, just replace it there. So I'm going to type in 800 and we get 0.35, and we're going to want to just write down 0.35, bang bang, and then we're chilling. Now we're going to want to do 0.35 times 2 times 2, that's 0.7, so we're going to write down 0.7. And then we're going to do 0.35 divided by 2, and that is 0.175. 0.175. Now these are our three numbers here. So we've got a high number, a medium number, and a low number. Right now we're just going to disregard the middle number, and we're pretty much going to do that the entire time. And we're going to just look at these two other numbers here, so the 0.7 and the 0.175. So we'll hop into game. Now, by the way, I would recommend to do this while you're cold and you're not really warmed up, because if you're warmed up, you're just going to gravitate to the sense you're on. So let's go. What are we saying? 0.7 here. We'll try 0.7. Now you can see 0.7, I'm moving very, very fast, right? I'm obviously not used to a very high sense like this. So you just kind of want to run around, just shoot the shit, you know, just a little bit of practice, see if you can actually use it. You can see I'm very much struggling on this extremely high sense. And it's hard to use. It's very, very hard. Very, very finger intensive on the high sense. Now we've decided, you know, it feels kind of weird here. This first batch of senses is going to feel very weird. And then we also have 0.175. 0.175. Now this is a snail's pace. This, for me, this feels terrible. I know for a fact I would never ever be able to use this. I would actually be able to use the other sensitivity way more than this, even though I could barely aim with the other sensitivity, just because I know there's no way I can move around the map here. I don't know how people use sensitivities this low. So then what we do is we cross out the sense we don't like. I'm gonna cross out this one. And now we have to go back in here onto the calculator, and we go with 0.7 plus 0.35 equals 1.05, and then we divide that by 2. That's going to give us another new medium sense. So now we've got the 0.7, the 0.525, and we've got the 0.35. You see? You just cross out that awful sense you didn't like. Then you grab these two, add them together, divide by 2, and there's your new middle. So now the options are 0.7 and 0.35, so it goes down like this the entire way. So now we can try out 0.35. This feels way, way more at home for me. See, I'm able to just click people a lot easier here. I'm able to move around. Feels a lot nicer than both of the other senses so far. And I can already tell I could use this sensitivity, you know. This is one I could absolutely actually use. Whereas the 0.7, you've seen how hard it was for me to aim. I can barely even move my mouse a lot. So 100% here, I would go with the 0.35. So we do the same thing again, and this is just the process. You just keep doing this until you've got the sensitivity, until when you're adding them together, it doesn't really do anything anymore. So we're gonna go with Gonna cross out this 0.7, you know, just delete it, make it look easier for us. And then we got 0.525 plus 0.35 equals this, divided by 2. And here is our nuisance. Now, you can see this has got like 4 numbers in it. We're just gonna round that up because there's no reason to have it with so many numbers. So we'll write down 0.525, we'll just round it up 0.44, and 0.375. Now, once you get into kind of this range, now you're starting to really feel what sensitivity you would prefer. So we'll try out the 0.525 here. And we'll see, would I prefer this over the other sensitivity? Now, it still feels very jittery here. I know for a fact I would get lost. I mean, it's controllable now. But at the same time, I know I would definitely get lost with this. You know, I wouldn't be able to have consistent shots, you know. See, it's very, very twitchy, very, very strange. Compare, we'll try at the 0.35 again. You know, it feels like a lot more stable. And this is why you want to do it cold, because no matter what, you will get like a real feeling instead of just the gravitating to the sense you're actually on kind of feeling. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the 0.35 here. It still feels better. I wrote 7.5 there, by the way. I didn't mean to. So we'll cross off this 0.25. Boom. And then we'll just write down, we'll actually go ahead back onto the calculator. And we will go 0.44 plus 0.35 equals this, divided by 2. And here's our new sensitivity. So now we've got 0.44. And then we've got 0.395 and 0.35. And we're just going to try out 0.44 and 0.35. And this is just a process you're going to keep repeating here. Not 0.4, 0.44. There we go. And you just, once you start getting closer and closer in the numbers like this is when you really do want to like really choose the right options here. So like, don't try and strive towards the sense that like, you know, some pro players on or anything like that. Just honestly ask yourself really which one is better here. And we will just be able to pick our sensitivity. Alright, so I've just decided, I'm pretty sure I prefer this 0.44. It feels a lot more fluid to me. So we're gonna go ahead and knock off the 0.35 here. It's been a long survivor, but now he's gone. And we're going to do 0.44 plus 0.395 equals this, divided by 2. And now we have this, which we're going to just change to 0.42. So we go ahead, and we have 0.44, 0.42, and we have 0.395. So now we're going to test out 0.44 and 0.395. 0.395, we tried out 0.44 there. And this sensitivity feels pretty good. Okay, I'm able to flick around pretty easy. You just try out whatever you want here, try out a little bit of tracking. Feels pretty good here. Able to stay on the bot's head pretty consistently. And I'll try out some flicks. Micro flicks, whatever you want, some spray transfers. Go outside to these bots, try a couple things on these. See how it feels. And yeah, this sensitivity feels pretty good to me. I like this sense. I've got a nice mix of being able to swing my arm around and micro adjust at the same time. You can see I'm able to just flick around. And it feels pretty good. And we'll give 0.44 another try here. And instantly I can already tell it feels a little bit worse than the other sensitivity. You can see it's a lot more jittery. I can't control it as much, so I'm going to knock off the 0.44 here. Knock this off, and we'll go with the other two here, which is going to be 0.42, 0.395, It's going to give us this divided by 2. And that looks like 0.41 to me. So it's going to be 0.42, 0.41, and 0.395. Now we'll just test out the other sense. Again, feels a little bit too fast. So yeah, again, I feel like it's a little bit too fast for me, so we're gonna go ahead and knock off the 0.42 here. Bang, bang. And we'll just go with this, the 0.395 plus 0.41 equals this, divided by 2. Gives us this, which is 0.4. So we got 0.41, 0.4, and 0.395. Now, those numbers are close enough to me, and now that we're finally at the end here, this middle number is gonna be the number you're looking for. So, for me, it's 0.4, and I already know this. I've known it's 0.4 for a long time. This kind of concludes it. It reassures it pretty much. I've been using 0.4 for very, very long. Now, don't take this as gospel, you know what I mean? Don't go and just fucking only use this sensitivity from now on forever for the rest of your life. If you feel like you can adjust it slightly here now. Like, let's say I'm like, damn, I'm kind of under flicking, I can't really aim, you know? There's nothing to stop me adding like a 0.5 onto there, you know? Or there's nothing to stop me going back to 0.395. There's nothing stopping that. Even going to the 0.41. If you feel like, now, I would say give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks minimum for changing a sensitivity. Give it 2 weeks and see how you feel. If you feel like it needs some small adjustments, go ahead after those 2 weeks. If not, if you feel like it's fine, don't change it. And you have to be honest here. Don't just change it for the meme, you know? Don't just change it for some fun, for the crack, right? You want to change it according to whether you actually, like, objectively think you should. And that's pretty much how you're going to find your perfect sense here, boys. So that's the video. It's a nice enough short one. We don't need to go crazy in here. And go in there, try this out, and let me know, is this going to help you? Do you think like this sensitivity is actually helping? Or am I just chatting at my arse here and I've just said nothing for the last 10 minutes? Let me know anyway, boys. But yeah, thanks for watching, like, sub, all that stuff. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitch, and yeah, see you later.